3, go, and we are live. Today is 12th of October, and this is Agile Ventures EuroScrum on Sunday. Here is Gail, Nick, and me. Well, Nick, let's start with you.
Sure. I have been working on the OSRA project basically yesterday, whenever I had a bit of free time, and what I've been focusing on is trying to increase our test coverage. So I began by writing a few short tests to make sure that 100% of our sponsorship model and 100% of our orphan model were covered. I also actually removed some code from the sponsor model because it was unnecessary to begin with, and it was uncovered by the tests. So I spoke to Craig, whom I had convinced to put that code in the first place, and we agreed that we should remove it. So I took it out, and now that model is 100% covered. And then the last thing that I did was, as I was mentioning to you, Pavel, before the Scrum, I realized that our coverage results were not including Cucumber tests at all. So I configured coveralls to merge RSpec and Cucumber data together. And so now our test coverage on the OSRA is at 100%. So we can be confident that everything is covered. At the moment, I'm going through MotoSim's pull request for the orphan importer, leaving a few comments there. And when I'm done with that, the one task that I have currently assigned to me is to disable new orphan action through the UI. So I'll tackle that next if I have time today. There's nothing blocking me today.
Okay, great. Gail, are you a new member or you've participated in previous Scrums?
No, I'm a new member. I'm taking the course, the pre-course for being a teaching assistant for the software as a service course. So I'm not a member of any of the projects yet. But we've come into it's our homework, but also it's one way to get exposed to the projects as well, so maybe sometime I could join one.
Okay. Can you describe briefly your previous experience, your background for us?
Sure. I live in Israel. I'm a front-end developer, a JavaScript programmer more than anything else. So my experience, my work experience is a little different than the model that we use in the SAS course, because there was a lot more client-side work, which also is an issue, I guess, with Cucumber and setting it up for client side. I don't know. I'll learn more. I took the SAS course actually more than once, and I liked it very much. I found it had a very profound effect on me. That it was the first time I understood what the point might be behind test-driven development. And so I'm here to participate in the community and see how much time I can find to do that.
Okay, fair enough. Usually, actually, are you using Scrum when you develop, or traditional method?
Oh, okay. Where I work now, unfortunately, is not an agile place, but in the two last places that I worked, we were agile with, in one place they used Jira. I don't remember the name of the software they used in the other place, but it was, the whole thing where you have a mixed team with the server and the client and the QA and the product people all on one team. Where I work now, unfortunately, it's got R&D and and we work for a while, and then maybe after a month we pass what we have to QA. It's
How can you move from agile to that again? I
uh,
cannot understand.
it's torture. It's torture. Okay. There are other things that are good, and it's and to find a job. And there are other things that are good there because we're using it's not a legacy system. It's greenfields, and we're using complete single page application. We've had a chance to really get control of the technology because it's a server company, so there's no one to tell us no. It's the first time I got to set up CSS for a whole project without having any kind of legacy code. So there are a lot of technological pluses in it, but it's really exhausting to work in a non-agile environment once you've gotten used to the other.
Okay, I see. Well, since you're familiar with Scrum, you know that on daily Scrum we answer in 3 questions like what did you do, what are you going to do, and where problems. Can you answer that question for us?
Well, since I don't have an assignment, what I've been, like I said, I'm taking the Managing Distributed Teams course, and
What are you doing in there now?
well, this week we learned about the various Scrum and pair programming and various processes for managing a team. You familiar with the course, or?
Yeah, I am somewhat. I am not taking it, but I'm familiar with the curriculum.
Yeah, I don't know if the other participants are. It's a 4-week course that provides a basis or a preparation, primarily in my case, to be a teaching assistant on the software as a service MOOC that will be coming up. And since the course had been so good for me, I felt like it was a good chance to give back, and also just to see the technology from the other side. And if I find that I'll have the time, I think I would like to probably join the Web 1 project later. But I don't, I think first I'll do the TA thing.
Yeah. Well, come take a look at the OSRA project too if you're looking around for something.
What I presume you guys are using Ruby, Rails, RSpec, and Cucumber, the same technology stack that's used, that's taught in the course?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the whole idea, to work as it's stated in the course. Yeah. Okay, Gail. Do you have any particular problems now?
Me? No problems. No.
Not common. Okay. My turn. Yesterday I carried out America Scrum, and there was some pretty, and I think some other guys. I just forgot totally what was yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going to carry out America Scrum and OSRA Daily Scrum, and as I understand, we will try to make OSRA planning meeting on Monday because we not have any point to wait till Tuesday, right, Nick?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, we'll try, and I hope next sprint in OSRA will be final sprint for phase 0, and our client will establish a system to production. That's it for me. Any other questions to discuss? Ideas? Anything else need to be clarified? Gail? Nick?
No, I'm...
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Nick, can you open that OSRA board again? Let's look at the code reviews.
Sure.
What a forecast about this import? As I understand, MotoSem divided it into tasks, right, with pull requests.
Yes.
So how many of tasks were already merged?
Let's have a look. I don't think we've merged anything yet.
Oh,
I'm looking at the resolved here. I don't see anything that's been merged. So I think this is the first one, the one that this is the actual importer, and then he has, I think the other ones will be.
no, open that author 70 main task. Let's look at subtasks into the right tab.
Let's see.
5 subtasks, right?
Yeah.
Code review in progress. Not
Yeah.
merged. Okay. It took the whole next sprint, I think, to be merged.
Possible, yeah. I mean, like he said, the code that he submitted the first time around is working. So it's just a matter of getting it code reviewed. But you know, code review for something so big could also take time, and yeah.
Why your code review, your task at sponsorship status, author 113 is too long in code review stage? What's happened with it?
Let me go back here. You know, I don't know. It's been there for a week. Craig left comments, and I think I've addressed all of them. And Sam Pretty had a comment here too. Nobody's come back to it, I guess, to verify that everything's okay. So it's sitting there. Today being Sunday, I don't know how much I can push it, but tomorrow I'll make sure that I prioritize it.
Let's flag that story in Jira. Do you know how to flag?
No, I don't. Sorry.
You click right mouse button and
Add flag.
add flag. Yes. So we will not forget to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. Improve the test coverage of apps model. I think you've already done it, no? Author 187.
187, where's 187? I've done parts of this. So you can see that sponsor is closed, but the other two are now in code review. But these are pretty tiny, I think. One person needs about 5 minutes to look at each one of them, and they'll be ready.
Just interested why they didn't look.
Well, I put them in. I submitted them yesterday.
Ah, yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a week. Okay.
No.
Well, okay. Nothing more. Okay, then if no more questions, let's call it a day, and everyone have a great rest of weekend. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.